According to the 2002 edition of the National Electrical Code, there is no specific section that prohibits the placement of solar-powered landscape lighting within 10 feet of a pool. It's important to understand that electrical codes are designed to ensure safety and prevent hazards related to electrical installations. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of guidelines and standards for electrical wiring, overcurrent protection, grounding, and installation practices. These codes are developed and updated regularly to reflect the latest technologies and safety practices. While the NEC does not explicitly prohibit solar landscape lighting near pools, it is essential to consider other relevant sections and potential hazards when planning such installations. Firstly, consider general requirements for electrical installations near water. The NEC addresses the specific requirements for electrical equipment installed near pools, spas, and similar water features. These requirements are primarily concerned with preventing electrical shock hazards. Although solar landscape lighting is typically low voltage, it is crucial to ensure that any associated wiring, connections, and control equipment comply with these requirements. For example, any wiring run underground should be installed according to NEC Section 300.5, which specifies minimum burial depths and protection methods. Secondly, examine grounding and bonding requirements. Proper grounding and bonding are critical for preventing electrical shock hazards. The NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding and bonding electrical systems, and these requirements apply to all electrical installations, including those near pools. Ensure that all metal parts of the solar lighting system, such as enclosures and mounting structures, are properly bonded to the grounding system. This helps to create a low impedance path for fault currents, which can help to trip a circuit breaker or ground fault circuit interrupter, also known as a GFCI, in the event of a fault. Thirdly, look at low voltage lighting systems. Solar landscape lighting typically operates at low voltage, such as 12 volts or 24 volts. While low voltage systems are generally considered safer than high voltage systems, they still pose potential hazards. The NEC addresses the specific requirements for low voltage lighting systems in Article 411. Ensure that the solar lighting system complies with these requirements, including proper wiring methods, overcurrent protection, and separation from high voltage circuits. Fourthly, think about the listing and labeling of equipment. All electrical equipment installed in or near a pool must be listed and labeled for that purpose. This means that the equipment has been tested and certified by a recognized testing laboratory to meet specific safety standards. Look for the UL, which is Underwriters Laboratories, listing or other recognized certifications on the solar lighting equipment. This helps to ensure that the equipment is suitable for use in a wet or damp environment. Fifthly, consider local codes and regulations. In addition to the NEC, local jurisdictions may have their own electrical codes and regulations. These local codes may be more restrictive than the NEC, and they may specifically address the placement of lighting near poles. Always check with the local electrical inspector to determine if there are any local requirements that apply to the solar lighting installation. Sixthly, assess the location and environmental conditions. The location of the solar lighting system should be carefully considered to minimize potential hazards. Avoid placing the lights in areas where they could be easily damaged or submerged in water. Also, consider the environmental conditions in the area, such as exposure to sunlight, moisture, and corrosive elements. Choose lighting fixtures and wiring methods that are suitable for these conditions. Seventhly, always follow manufacturer's instructions. The manufacturer of the solar lighting system will provide detailed instructions for installation, operation, and maintenance. These instructions should be carefully followed to ensure safe and reliable operation. Pay close attention to any warnings or cautions provided by the manufacturer. Eighthly, GFCI protection is critical for electrical circuits near pools. A GFCI is a device that detects ground faults and interrupts the circuit to prevent electrical shock. The NEC requires GFCI protection for all electrical outlets and equipment installed within a certain distance of a pool. While solar lighting systems may not require GFCI protection directly, it is a good idea to use GFCI protected circuits for any associated wiring or control equipment. Ninthly, inspect regularly and maintain. Regular inspection and maintenance are essential for ensuring the safety of the solar lighting system. Check the wiring, connections, and fixtures for any signs of damage or corrosion. Replace any damaged or worn parts promptly. Also, clean the solar panels regularly to ensure optimal performance. Tenthly, consider consulting with a qualified electrician. If you are not familiar with electrical codes and installation practices, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. A licensed electrician can help you to design and install a safe and compliant solar lighting system. They can also advise you on any local codes or regulations that may apply. In summary, while the 2002 NEC does not explicitly prohibit solar landscape lighting near pools, it is essential to consider other relevant sections and potential hazards. By following these guidelines and consulting with a qualified electrician, you can ensure a safe and compliant installation. Keep in mind that electrical codes and regulations are subject to change. It is always a good idea to consult the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes before starting any electrical project. Additionally, remember that solar power landscape lighting systems usually involve low voltage. The general principles of electrical safety still apply. Always disconnect power sources before performing any maintenance or repairs. Ensure proper wire sizing is used to prevent overheating and voltage drop. Use appropriate connectors and enclosures to protect against moisture and corrosion. Consider the potential for physical damage to the wiring and fixtures. Protect the wiring from sharp edges and abrasion. Avoid running wiring through areas where it could be easily stepped on or run over. Install the fixtures in a way that minimizes the risk of damage from lawnmowers, trimmers, or other equipment. Be aware of the potential for the lighting to create glare or interfere with the visibility of swimmers or drivers. Position the lights to avoid creating hazards. Consider the impact of the lighting on the surrounding environment. Avoid using excessive lighting that could contribute to light pollution. Choose fixtures with appropriate shielding to direct the light downward and minimize glare. Use timers or sensors to turn off the lights when they are not needed. When dealing with solar panels, understand their output characteristics. Even low voltage solar panels can produce significant current, especially in bright sunlight. Avoid short-circuiting the panels or touching the terminals when they are exposed to sunlight. Use appropriate safety equipment, such as insulated gloves and eye protection, when working with solar panels. When installing the system, take into account the potential for future maintenance or repairs. Make sure that the wiring and fixtures are accessible for inspection and maintenance. Use corrosion-resistant materials to extend the lifespan of the system. Consider the potential for the system to be upgraded or expanded in the future. Leave room for additional wiring and fixtures. In the context of swimming pools, remember that electrical safety is paramount. Never attempt to install or repair electrical equipment near a pool without proper training and qualifications. Always disconnect the power before working on any electrical equipment. If you are unsure about any aspect of the installation, consult with a qualified electrician.